No such thing as a free ride? Some volunteers in Ontario's York region would beg to differ. They're helping take seniors to their vaccine appointments, among other things. The group is called PinkCars. They started on March the 1st, and so far they have made a huge impact, as we're going to hear in more detail from Shanta Sundararasan, who's the founder of PinkCars, and she's in Markham, Ontario this morning. Shanta, good morning.
Good morning, Heather. Thank you so much for having me on.
Listen, thank you for accepting our invitation. This is such a lovely idea, Shanta. What made you think of it?
Well, a few days before the rollout of the vaccinations on the 1st of March, I got some stressful phone calls from a couple of seniors. They were really wondering how they were going to be able to book their appointments. Many of them didn't have a computer, didn't have access to the internet. They didn't know how they were going to be able to phone in to book an appointment, and were getting really worried. I tried to think out of the box a little bit to see how I could help them. I was hoping I'd be able to get into their homes perhaps to help, but that was an impossibility with COVID. So I decided to come up with some sort of a platform, and I very quickly pulled together a website and a landline phone number that I could hand out to all the seniors that could reach out to me that either had difficulty getting on to book an appointment or just didn't have access to the internet. So that's really where it all started.
But it very quickly became just quite a bit beyond you and the people in your immediate circle. I know you brought in volunteers and set up this whole organization, PinkCars, and now you don't just you offer sort of a whole range of services to seniors in need. What do you help them with?
Well, we started off really by helping offer rides to those that weren't able to get to the vaccination sites. Many people don't have family or friends that can drive them. A lot of the seniors are very wary about getting into a taxi, somebody they don't know. So we thought that if we could offer a free, friendly, and comfortable face, that would give them a little bit more comfort. So the first idea was to be able to set up some rides. And then on top of that, to help them with the booking system, which has absolutely been ludicrous. There's no way anyone in their 90s or many in their 80s can actually decipher the system. It's so confusing right now, and they do really need some help. So that's where it all started. And before long, word spread and volunteers just kept pouring in. So we've been really blessed. There's so many good people out there that really want to help in this time of need.
That's so great. You've been blessed and you've been busy. What kind of numbers are we talking about? How many people have you helped just since the beginning of March, Shanta?
Well, we're working up to about 600 now, and we really have been overwhelmed. It gets very stressful. The hours have been very long, but it's been very rewarding.
Well, I'm going to talk about that in a sec. I need to ask, though, where'd the name PinkCars come from?
Well, I had about an hour to decide on a name, and I knew we wanted to offer rides to people during COVID, and I needed a name that was catchy. So the first ever car I ever owned was a pink car, and I thought, all right, that's the name we're going to have. The domain was available, and so I bought the domain name. Yep, and there it was.
Well, that is very. I thought when I was looking at the pictures, I was going to see a whole fleet, kind of like Mary Kay. I don't know if you know if that cosmetics company used to have pink cars all around, pink Cadillacs. But anyway, it's not a fleet of pink cars, but it is a catchy name, and certainly people remember it. Okay, let's get to response. I'm wondering, what are you hearing from the seniors who contact you in terms of, I guess, why they need? It's confusing, but why they need your help?
Yeah, so that question's often asked, and a lot of people just expect seniors to have family or friends that can help them. But there was one really touching story that made it all make sense. And on the third day of the whole vaccine rollout, I got a phone call from a 96-year-old. And he said to me, he said, Shanta, I really need your help booking my appointment. He said, I do have a daughter to help me, but she has 2 children. And she had to get the children ready for school in the morning on Monday and get herself to work. And by the time she got to work and turned on the computer, all the appointments were gone. And he was in floods of tears. And I said, but more vaccines will become available, so just be patient. And he said, I haven't been able to hug my daughter or my grandchildren for an entire year. And I don't know how much more time I have to live on this earth. And if I don't get that vaccine, they're not going to allow me to hug them. So when I hear stories like that, it just makes what we're doing make so much sense and so worthwhile that I'm not even questioning why we're doing it.
When I hear stories like that, it just takes your breath away. How vital a lifeline you've already come to provide for so many seniors in your region. How do you feel about that, Shanta, the part that you're playing in their lives?
It touches me. I mean, I'm not doing it for any other reason other than to get people protected, especially the seniors. I want them all to be able to start living again and get out there. I feel so grateful, to be honest, to be able to help. And it just brings me so much joy. I've cried so many tears with my other volunteers, but they've been happy tears.
How long are you going to keep this up, do you think?
I don't know how long we're going to be able to last mentally, but we're hoping to be able to at least help up to the age of 70 and above. If people below that age do also need a bit of help, we're not going to deny that, but definitely up to the age of 70.
I bet we're going to look at some images as we go, Shanta, of the kinds of signs of people, the thanks that you get. No wonder you feel so rewarded. You mean so much to the people who you are driving. On our program, we've always throughout this year tried to focus on the heroes and the helpers, Shanta, and you definitely go into that category today. So thank you for sharing the story and for giving us some time this morning.
Thank you for sharing this story, Heather.
Appreciate it. Shanta Sundaresan in Markham, Ontario. PinkCars.ca.